So the year is 1996. It is 1996. And during that time, there is there has now been 7 new Mario games out, aka what we call the 2D era, which consists the classic 2D games, which consists of Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. The Lost Level, Super Mario World, Super Mario Land, and Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins. However, after that, 3D games were out and ready and coming. After all, for a year there was the PlayStation, the Sega Saturn, both having some big 3D games. With Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy VII, even though one of those didn't come until, I guess a year later. But anyway. But my point is that at the same time, too, there was, it was also time for Mario to evolve on the 3D, and it happened with no other than... But anyway, though, on that console, there was a brand new Mario game out and about alongside Pilot Wing 64. Yeah, as the N64 only had 2 launch games. But anyway, Super Mario 64 was such an excellent game. After all, it revolutionized how 3D games could be, and it really showed what a 3D platformer could do. Period. This and Crash Bandicoot 4 did, and this game truly brought Mario into a brand new world, having the focus less on linearity, and now got to explore Peach's castle and enter paintings. It was such a revolution, and after all, it brought a lot of new ideas to the series, and the boss was so unique, and it truly brought something new to the series overall, and yeah. But anyway, though, what do I think of this game? As overall, this video series is a part 1 of Agent S Remembers 3D Mario, which covers my history with the series, my personal thoughts and feelings on the 3D Mario games. But this game, I love it a ton. After all, this game was one of the first Mario games I ever played, and whether it was the original or the DS remake, because I beat it both several times. I recently replayed the original in 3D All-Stars, and I guess sorry, I'm looking at my camera a bit, but anyway. But yeah, this game truly did something to the series, and was pretty new, and brought a lot of new stuff to it. And today I want to talk all about it. Also, this video does contain full spoilers, so I have to cover my full thoughts on the game. It's going to be 30 minutes long, so sit back and relax. We're going to talk about one of the first 3D games ever. And one of the first 3D platformers ever. Alright, so the game begins, of course, with Peach giving a letter to Mario saying she's baked a cake. Yes, a very new plot, yes. And you see a like it too, of course, with the camera, and there it is. How cool can it be? And once you see that, you know you're in for a treat. After all, we've never seen Peach's castle in 3D before. So how could it be? It's going to be amazing, I bet. Right? And yes, it was, overall. And the minute you see Mario jump out of a pipe, you know you're in for a treat, of course. But what happens when you first get into a level? So the first level of the game is no other than, of course, Bob-omb Battlefield. And it's a big field full of Bob-ombs, and once you see in there, you know you're in for treats. And this game, no longer focused on 2D side-scrolling and hitting blocks and that kind of stuff. You don't go to a flagpole anymore. Nope, you're jumping inside of paintings and not on a world map or anymore, or just automatically going to the next level, like in some of them. And yeah, this game really was revolutionary and had a big impact for gaming in general. And yeah, and this level truly tries to show that. I feel like this specific level tries to show it the best out of any. And yeah, and it truly did something. I keep swinging my camera, okay, I'm trying to get the perfect stand for it. But anyway, it truly brought into a new experience. You're not just walking in a full 3D direction. You don't get power-ups anymore. Well, you do, but they work differently. I mean, there's no fire flower in this game and stuff, or tanuki leaf. And yeah, you're now fighting bosses that aren't Koopalings or Birdo or something like that. You're now getting stars instead of going to a flagpole, and that was truly something new, and I really like that overall. So yeah. But let's talk about and after that, you get to explore Peach's Castle even more, and it feels truly something new, I bet. And yeah. But let's go and talk about a bit more of the levels. So what I really like about this game as well is that the level design is so new, in fact. I mean, there's Wump's Fortress, which Wump's Fortress, it's all about basically some new gimmicks. There's walking in areas where trying not to fall, I guess, trying to climb up the mountain to fight the big Wump. There's also Jolly Roger Bay, where you're swimming through an ocean and stuff. And you just choose a mission, basically, and that feels very new, in fact. And you don't go to, like, a castle anymore to fight Bowser. No, during 3 parts of the game, you're going to be, well, hold on, I'll be right back. Well, now what you do now is you basically just fall down in a pit, and during 3 times, and you go through a new kind of level, and it brings, like, a lot of new gimmicks in the 3D with something very, very new, as it truly is something that Mario games have never ever done before. So yeah, it was definitely brand new. It definitely a very bold new idea, definitely. So yeah, and what I tried to do was just excellent. It was executed very well. As a new kind of level design the series never had, basically. And what I really like about it is that it feels new, and it perfects on how and shows how a 3D Mario game could be, and what a 3D game could be in general. I mean, it feels like both a big game and a tech demo basically together, with its levels and how it constructs them, what new enemies it has, what new boss fights it has, and yeah. Especially with it was really cool Mountain, as it had a snow level, something that wasn't too common in the series yet. And yeah. Anyway, though, something else that I really like about this game as well is that its levels just feel new, very new. Even though this game is now almost 25 years old, the levels feel like something a Mario game never had before, especially in Tiny Huge Island, because you literally, or Mario is literally freaking big in a small, an area of small things, but then you go into a pipe, or you enter in like another spot, and there's 2 panes that let you go through it, and you'll be able, and it'll be a very shrunken Mario exploring a very big area, and I really like that overall, and it truly brought a lot of new things to the table. And Tall Mountain, we're climbing through the mountain, feels nice. And while I don't really like Dry World, I mean, at least I had a cool new idea where we're trying to be wet and dry, like the name says. If I just like change the water level, which I just find to be pretty cool overall, and everything this game did was just so new, which I really like, definitely. And yeah. Alright, anyway, sorry for any background noise you may hear in this video. Like I said, a lot of my videos. But anyway, something else, another point that I just personally find excellent about this game, and very mind-blowing, is that it had new power-ups the series never really had before. I mean, it had the wing cap, but while that's the only time we've seen Mario be able to fly, he was able to fly in 3D, which was really new and stuff, and had a lot of new things to the table. And yeah. And what I also like is the fact that they have the invisible cap, where I guess become invisible for a short amount of time. Same too, but with turning into metal and becoming heavy and becoming heavy with the heavy not the heavy the metal suit. The metal suit was just really amazing and truly brought something in, and which I personally find it really cool and pretty interesting. It was the power-ups. And yeah. Alright, so now let's get in more into the level, specifically talk about what made it great. Because what these levels try to do is that they try to do something incredibly new to the series, and something very, very cool, and something that I personally find to be pretty enjoyable is the fact that they feel very original. Like, of course, Tiny Huge Island I talked about, Viva Lava Land, and it's the first time you see a fire level in 3D. Which it just felt mind blowing. It's personally one of my favorite levels in the game, and people are like, a lot of people don't like Snowman's Land, but personally I like it a lot. As well, just in our snow level, it's really cool, and yeah, I'm just like to say about and while I'm not too big of a fan of desert levels, I personally really like Shifting Sandland and what it tries to do. And going through the pyramid was just amazing. And I've talked about Wet Dry World already, even though I don't really like Wet Dry World. And Tall Mountain is just pretty fun overall. And yeah, even though it's just a big mountain, and yeah. But let's get into another great part of the game. Alright, let's just get into another great part about the game. That's the music. Also, this footage here is from Gamer27, even though most of this footage is from Pack Attack 04082, or whatever it was. I'm pretty sure that's that's the username. But we should look at the music. That's enough for you then? Alright. Comes lagging. See this? Alright, so yep, that's it for the music, of course. The music really slaps strong in this game. The music is excellent. It's phenomenal. And it feels so nostalgic, which is why a lot of people really like this game. But my points of this video too was, of course, my experience with the game. And this game isn't just good because of nostalgia. It's good for what it is and everything. And the music definitely shows that as well. I mean, of course, it's not as good as Galaxy's soundtrack or something, but it truly brings something. It grabs you, and it brings something really new, and which I really like overall. And yeah, something else that I really like about this game too is that it's full of secrets and everything. This game is seriously full of secrets, which I personally just find to be really fun and everything. And there's a lot of hidden things you can do in this game, including a lot of hidden stars. And the stars you find, there's really cool ways to get them, even though it is, I guess, kind of hard 100% the game. but and I've actually never 100% before, as I tried to bet a hard time 100% when I replayed this in 3D All Stars. But I had a really fun time with it, as exploring level was just so unique and everything. And yeah. So yeah, that's what I want to say about Super Mario 64. Kind of. Because we're actually not quite done yet. So after you beat the game, of course, you take on the final boss, which is Bowser. You throw him around 3 times. At the end, he turns the it breaks different platforms in the battle area, and Peach gets saved and stuff, and all that, and the credits play. However, I want to basically talk about the legacy that this game left. How this game impacted the gaming industry. As it had a wonderful impact on gaming as a whole. This game has a very big cult following, as this game is commonly loved by speedrunners and ROM hackers, and a lot of speedrunners and ROM hackers love Super Mario 64, and they will make ROM hacks of the game. There's like so many: Star Road, the Green Stars. There's even Super Mario Odyssey 64. Someone combined Super Mario Odyssey with 64. And yeah, if you want to know about some of them, watch Daniel Bandy, of course. And yeah, this game truly had a lot of big impact on the gaming industry. And there's some really good ROM hacks out there, including one that you're seeing right now. This game truly had a lot. I'm just so glad I got to experience it. During my childhood, and again playing 64 and 3D All Stars, and yeah. And of course we're not done yet, because there's still more to this video. But anyway, though, some of the ROM hacks are really cool, and they really add a lot of new stuff to the table, and which I personally find to really like. And the ROM hacks, they truly show something to the fans of Mario 64 that. And a lot of these people combine 3D Mario games. There's one ROM hack that's based on Odyssey, one that's based on Sunshine, one that's based on Galaxy, and yeah. But of course, now that's all I want to say about the legacy this game had and stuff, and the ROM hacks specifically. But let's get in to the DS version, because I need to talk about that as well. So yeah, the DS version. So when you first see it, you see that it's very different control-wise, and because you can't use a control stick anymore unless you're playing on an emulator, Wii U, Virtual Console, or 3DS. But you also see, of course, there's apparently new characters. Yes, there's apparently new characters in this game. Yep, each of their own abilities and stuff and everything. Each can use their own power-ups. Yeah, this game. It's basically a director's cut remake of Super Mario 64. It's pretty different. The game doesn't even start off with Mario anymore. You have to unlock Mario with Luigi and Wario, because you actually start this game with Yoshi. Yep. It was this before. If you got 120 stars, you would go on top of the castle and you would see him there. However, this changed in the DS version. You start the game with Yoshi, and you can lick things and stuff, and throw eggs. And that means that the game plays differently, of course. But how does it play differently? Well, let's get into that. So, the original 64 had you collecting 120 stars in order to beat the game. Well, or actually, to 100% the game, you had to get all 120 stars. But I had at least 70 just to beat the game. In this, I have to get 80 stars to beat the game, 100% it, and then go on top of the castle to get something. Forgot what it was. You have to get 30 more stars. Yep, they had 30 new stars in this game, and some of them will involve different characters, and now you're collecting silver stars. Yep. Before you had to collect them in Super Mario Galaxy 2 for some stars. You would get them here. The levels are now altered a bit, too. And for example, with King Bob-omb, instead of throwing him like it would with Mario, or what with each character you use, they just throw bombs at him. Yeah, it works a bit differently. And yeah, it's basically a reworked remake of 64. You can use these capsid levels to like play as that character, and yeah. which I personally really like. This is personally my preferred way to play 64, even though the version I played for this video is the original. I want to talk about the changes in the 3DS stuff. I want to talk about the change in the DS version as well, of course. So you can't bring up 64 without that. And personally, I like the DS version a lot more than the original. As great as the original was, even though Eli Guy wouldn't agree, the DS version is definitely a lot better and definitely a really good game overall. And well, really, how you start off with Yoshi and get your characters being changed into that character too by the caps of that character, and I like the Silver Star, so it's personally a cool idea on paper. But now let's get in to let's also get into the new bosses this has. So yeah, do you remember that? Do you remember the Goomba King from Paper Mario? Well, now he's back for the first time ever in a mainline Mario game. As you'll be fighting him to unlock Mario, which is personally really cool. I really like the boss. We're going to like this poison swamp area. Yeah, this game has a bunch of new levels. There's this one beach level as well, and it's definitely really fun, of course, and everything, and like I beat him by like throwing Goombas at him and running around. But now let's talk about another boss, of course. There's also this one beach level that you unlock too. So you even get a new room that was in the original game. So now let's get into another thing you'll be doing in this game a lot too. You'll now be catching bunnies. Yep, you're gonna be catching bunnies in this game, which I find, I mean, it's good, I guess. I mean, like I said, well, in Super Mario 64, you would catch two bunnies in the basement. They're catching them a lot throughout the game. As it brings, which I guess new, as you can't just directly go to beat this castle. You have to go catch a bunny in the gardens with which almost looks like Peach Gardens from from Mario Kart DS. Even though this came a full year before Mario Kart DS, which I find to be pretty mind-blowing, I guess. And yeah, let's get into a bit more bosses. Alright, so now one of the bosses that you're going to be fighting is no other than, of course, King Boo. You'll be fighting King Boo in this game, which is, of course, pretty new, as you fight unlock Luigi. And let me tell you, Luigi's the most overpowered character in the game. I use him the most when I played 64 DS. Because backflip is really cool and really helps when beating levels, which I personally really like, as unlocking Luigi is really cool. And you switch between the character anytime with like new rooms. With Peach Castle, now it's basically like a bunch of new rooms and everything. And yeah. But now let's get on to Wario. So somewhere in Snowman's Land, there's going to be a new boss you're going to fight as well, and it's nowhere than Chief Chili, somewhere near Snowman's Land. As you play through the level and you get Wario. Wario is also a really good, cool character. He's the one he's my least favorite character. Not my least favorite, but he is. Actually, he's my least favorite out of them. But I like using Wario lots, even though I use him the least as well. They can crush things and use the metal cap, and it really helps in some levels too, and everything. Even though he is personally my least favorite out of all the four characters in the game, but he's still a really cool character no matter what. But now let's get in to something else. Alright, that's actually all I wanted to say about the DS version and the original. But now I want to sum up my full thoughts on Super Mario 64. This is what I'll be doing throughout my whole Agent S Remembers 3D Mario series. And yeah. So overall, I think Super Mario 64 is an excellent game. I mean, both the original and the DS version are both masterpieces. especially the DS version, which is even better, despite the controls, of course. Even though I never really minded the D-pad controls. But nowadays, I play the game mostly on an emulator. When I originally played it, it was on a DS Lite, I think, or a DSi. But that's by the point. Super Mario 64 really brought a lot of things to the table for the series overall. As it definitely had some really good level gimmicks. It revolutionized the series and showed what 3D games could be. So 3D games were basically coming at the time. After all, this is the same year as Crash Bandicoot, so it was two big 3D games competing, deciding how 3D games could be. And I think both the original and the DS remake are both 10 out of 10 games overall. And I really like it had a big expanded the Mario fan base definitely, as the game is definitely very common among the speedrunning and the ROM hacker community. And I don't really know anyone that dislikes 64 except for Eli Guy, like I said already in this video. And yeah, so overall I think this game is definitely worth playing. And it's definitely one of my favorite games in the series, of course. And while the graphics aren't really the best, I mean, it was all they could do at the time because it was the N64. Especially since the N64 had many limitations compared to the original PlayStation, which is the whole reason why games like Final Fantasy VII released on the PlayStation instead of the N64. That's beside the point, of course. At 64, I just like the way that they designed its levels and the creativity it brought for the series, and it truly has it all for me personally. This is also sorry for any background noises, but sorry for any background noises, but it's definitely the perfect. Well, I guess one of the perfect Mario games, I guess. And like I said, the same for Galaxy 1 and 2. I can say the same for Odyssey. And I guess Super Mario World. But I won't be covering Super Mario World, but I will be covering Odyssey and Galaxy 1 and 2. So stay tuned in a couple months when I'll be covering those. And yeah, Mario 64 is really an amazing game. It truly brought so many news to the series. And yeah. And that's all I want to say. But that's everything I want to say about Super Mario 64 as a whole, ladies and gentlemen. So Agent SL, but first, I got one more thing I gotta say. Yeah, by the way, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this video is my last video of 2020. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. While it's not a Christmas special, I wanted to make it something very big, and it's gonna be this has been my longest video on the channel yet. But Buyback Gamer 27 is gonna be happy about the next one I'm talking about, because at the end of January. But anyway, come back at the end of January because we're gonna be talking about Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine. Yeah, but anyway, guys, see you guys later. Agent S out.